All right, so we're here with Odin. This is his first day, his first week, his first video. And so he's been pretty comfortable for a new horse in here this week. Today we've done some moving of horses around, and a few of his little stall buddies have gotten moved around. So that kind of got us a little up to begin with. But what we're going to do is let him go at liberty, and I'm going to get him to connect and hopefully get some relaxation and some softness to his body before I start asking him to do anything real technical. For him, he's a very sensitive fella, and I think we're going to get, well, just like any horse really, we're going to get the best out of him once we get the relaxation and the connection piece of the relationship, which will then help him be a little bit more calmer. And I mean, again, he's new here. He hasn't really gotten to establish any friends, which is never easy for them with being herd animals. So we've done this session a couple times this week in here where we've just kind of explored. And I want to make sure that he notices that I notice what he's noticing and that we kind of go through this work together. And you'll hear me kind of take that nice exhale. How little do I have to do for this horse to want to come with me is what I'm looking at. Good boy. Okay, now granted, he's kind of doing the action. He hasn't quite relaxed yet, which, you know, might take him a little bit longer than just a week. But the more that he's coming in here and the more the experiences are good and rewarding in his mind, he's going to find this to be a much nicer place. And for me, I don't really like to ride a horse until they've kind of gotten a little bit softer, especially when they're in here for training and when, like, you know, I really want it to count and I really want my work to be able to be significant for them. You know, just like humans, we don't really learn when we're super stressed. They are the same way, if not even more so. So, you know, helping them find the relaxation and getting a bit more comfortable can be very helpful in moving forward with training. Good boy. Plus, he gets to know me. He gets to know me, and we get to have a really subtle conversation. So I'm going to just ask him to come from that, focusing on the hindquarters. So we acknowledged it together. Good boy. Then I'm going to ask him to say, hey, can you come with me again, bud? We noticed it. Mm-hmm. And he does do a little bit better occasionally when he's not the only one in here. But again, that's just going to come with time and confidence. Hi, thank you. Oh, yeah, you really like to lick that mounting block sometimes. Okay, so we're working on connected attachment. We're sharing space together. He's like, oh, but the mounting block's up there. Good boy. I haven't worked at all on detachment other than him maybe stepping back out of my space if he got a little close, or me going around him. Okay, and he's kind of a little disconnected because he's kind of more about being out the window, but he's still relatively aware of me. Now I'm going to ask for my attachment. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, I know. And the more that we see this lower lip relax, the more that we see the nostrils get less wrinkly. You can see here, if we maybe come over here, we can zoom in. Okay, all of these little wrinkles here in the nostril, it's just because from a tight nostril. He has a very soft eye, even when he's worried. He seems to be very, it doesn't really get into a hard eye, I've noticed, which is a really great sign. It's just more of a worried eye. Also the jaw, see, look there, you see lots of wrinkles, but getting all of this to relax a little bit more, which within maybe the next week or so, you'll see some of that happen more in the in-hand work. And what we've worked on some days this week has really made a nice difference as well, which we're going to do a little bit at. Doesn't necessarily mean he's fully going to embrace it. Thank you, sweetie. Good boy. But he's high sensitive in a really sweet way. And he's not necessarily what I'd say is like a hot sensitive. He's just very aware of his surroundings and what your intentions are and where your energy's at, which in my opinion are really great horses because, and really a lot of horses can be that way. They've just dulled their sensitivity to be around humans 24/7. Well, a lot of the time anyway. Because most of the time we're very generally speaking, we're very, we're not very self-aware. So I'm really happy with that for now. I mean, he's working on getting more comfortable here. Okay, and I asked the head to lower because eventually I want his head to lower to put the bridle on. Okay, and it's, again, just another place that they can go to help find relaxation that I'm implementing into everyday stuff. I know. Those were your stall buddies screaming. Again, here's like a prime example of like he shows the worry in his face and his eye, but he doesn't necessarily get like really antsy. Good boy. I know. So now I'm going to ask for a little attachment. Now I'm going to ask for my detachment because he kind of came into that with a little bit of up energy. I know. There we go. And I think, you know, really, when you look at like how a horse handles going to a new facility, it's never an easy process. Yes, some manage it way better than others. But I have learned in the past that if the relationship between the horse and the handler becomes greater and stronger, leaving the property becomes a much easier, more communicative process, right? Because you have the foundation between the two of you to know that, to reassure the horse essentially that it's going to be okay. And he doesn't quite have that yet. So I'm not going to say that he is going to act like this all the time. You know, if you want to go to a horse show, I'm sure he's going to be concerned. I mean, that can be a big experience for young horses. When I say young horses, meaning less experienced horses, you know, or even just going off the property to trail ride or any of that. Like, he's a very aware horse, and he will probably always be that way. But as he develops a better relationship with his human, that will improve. Good boy. So moving into a little bit of the in-hand work, okay, I'm looking for him to kind of sit down and rock back in this walk to halt to back, which we'll see how much we get accomplished here today. Ah, there, okay. So he's like, wait a minute, I'm on the right track. That was a nice release, a nice exhale. He took a breath. He might say, okay, I might be able to hear you. Okay. Good boy. Oh, there's the head lowering. Okay, so now the reason why I put a lot of effort into what I call my liberty work is because good liberty work leads to really easy good groundwork, which good groundwork then leads to really fantastic in hand work. Okay, because when it comes to how we're moving together, I don't want to have to be using a lot of force. I'm halting this horse off my exhale, okay? Because what I'm going to start to do with my body as this work advances, what I'm going to do with my hands, what I'm going to do with my other aids is more in how to shape the horse's movement pattern versus trying to control them, okay? That's where, you know, using force in this work is not, or a sense of control in this is detrimental to really getting the most out of the potential for the work to give you. I'm sorry, that came out kind of goofy, but just meaning if I'm trying to fight my horse to slow down and he's plowing into me, I'm really not going to be able to help him sit down and rock back and lift his shoulders, putting it frankly. Okay, so I really don't want to have to overpower my request. And if I can walk this horse around here and we can respect each other, space, and enjoy each other's space and share that space without anything on him, then it should be tremendously easy to put a halter on and do the same thing. Okay, as long as they haven't learned to like pull through a halter. Sometimes that has happened to me where they've come with a behavior that's associated with a halter on their head or a chain on their nose or something. Good boy. That they already have a previous behavior to, which he's not. He's a polite, very polite individual. Yes, you are. So really, I'm just halting, and he's light as a feather here on this nose. He's not trying to swing the hindquarters. He's not really falling on the forehand. Now there, he's dropping the shoulder a little bit. Okay, but I can halt. And I can back, come on buddy, pretty nicely, okay? And what this is doing and what this is going to shape is getting the horse to carry their weight more on the hindquarters versus on the forehand, okay? Now, what's improved this week is his shortness of his neck. We want all of this work to be done with a lengthened neck. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be low. We'd like it to start there because it's a relaxation, but it can be higher, but not condensed, okay? And again, this is all moving into how we want our horses to move under saddle, how we want to develop their self-carriage. Good boy. And so this is literally step one of can you, good boy. Okay, and that was really good because he didn't shorten his neck there. It might have been hard to see on the camera because of my angle, but he really relaxed into that halt. Okay, this is going to keep this framework, which we're calling like what we're looking for, really helps a horse from coming behind the bit. Okay, which is what we don't want in regards to good self-carriage. There, he's getting a little heavy, not intentionally though. Oh, what a good boy. So I just engaged my core and slowed him down. Now the one thing I want you to take notice while I'm doing this is what my form is. Okay, my elbow rarely goes behind my back, and I'm supporting the halt through my spine, which is very similar to how we would support a downward transition under saddle. Okay, so now if you can see, look at the difference in the horse I brought in here and started with to the horse that I have right now. Okay, this is the horse that I would be comfortable getting on in a way that I know I have something thinking under me versus something just reacting under me. A thinking horse is a very safe horse for the most part. A reactive, freaked out horse is one you just kind of hold on to and redirect. Which, you know, I'm not saying I don't deal with that. I do. If I can avoid it, I like to. Good boy. Oopsies. Good boy. Now there he might have came a little behind, but it's just okay. He was a tiny bit heavy. He didn't push into me, but think of it as like the floodgates are opening a little bit and the water is uncontrolled, and that's where the pressure of the push comes from, is because the horse is falling on their forehand and they can't really control their weight because it's now just falling on the front end. Oh, you are such a fluffy boy. Thick mane. Okay, I mean, he just totally switched gears on me, which is great. Come on, Bubba. Good boy. Oh, there, and there the walk I felt the walk get better, and we got a lick and chew. No, dropping the shoulder. There we go. We're going to work a little bit more on position 1 from the side. Okay, this is where we're looking for the hind end to kind of come under, and this is a crash course, really. I'm just giving you visuals of what I'm working on here. I want the right hind to step under. And he's fine with the whip, which I might pick up, but I also know that I don't really need it if he's thinking about me. Okay, so I'm looking for the right hind to come under. Come on, Bubba. There. And I want the bend in the neck to soften. So we've got the neck down, which allows us to then get the bend a little bit easier. See, there he drops the shoulder, which isn't what we want. I might have to pick up the whip. Let's get one. He says, okay. I'd really like to see those wrinkles above your nostrils go away, buddy. Come on. He's a really, really chill, like, he's just a cool dude. Yeah, you are. If I was to have a gelding for my personal horse, one like this is what I would choose to have. But I'm a mare person. Good boy. Oh, that's nice. Oh, good boy. Yeah, and I already own too many horses. No more horses for Caitlin. Even if they're awesome ones. Oh, that's lovely, buddy. There we go. Oh, that was a good boy. So there, I just little half halt, engaged my core, and he just took a deeper step with the left hind. I mean, that might have been really hard to see, but it was definitely well felt. Oh, that's lovely, buddy. Okay, and that's really nice. Good boy. Okay, so if you're looking, that left hind is stepping well under center of gravity. Okay, the neck is giving to the left beautifully. Could be a little bit more, but just for the softness and the length of the neck, it's great right now. Okay, this is allowing the horse's hind end to come under, the back to lift, and our horse to really soften the top line. And I can't tell you how many things hold tension in their back, which doesn't allow really any throughness. I mean, it happens really quickly. Good boy, bud. Can we go the other way now? Oh, you got the stick? Let me get the eye boogie. Oh, yeah. Okay, so, you know, we've only been in here for 20 minutes, and look how far he's come in just that little bit of time. Okay. So I'm going to ask him to come back to me. There. Okay. So I just asked him to join my conversation again and not be out the window. Thank you. Okay. That's versus trying to grab the halter and pull his head down. Why don't I just ask for him to say hi again? Good boy. Now we'll see. I can always feel they're a little bit trickier side based off the in-hand work, and I think it's going to be his right side because he wants to kind of drop that shoulder in a little bit more. Okay, just like us, they have an easier side and a harder side for whatever reason, whether it's something physical, whether it's just their less coordinated side. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of, there we go. There, as soon as he released the neck, I got a much easier walk. Now I'm going to see if I can encourage. Yep, then you break, there, good boy. Good boy. Come on, Bubba. Come on. There, good. Good boy. Now, I haven't quite gotten the shoulder off the ground, meaning he's still kind of leaning in on that right front, but I've gotten the neck to soften, and I've gotten it to give me a little bit of suppling to the right. Let's see if I can get a little particular with him. Oh, he says, no, I'm liking this. Okay, so let's just look at this for a moment because this is really important note here. He's falling in on the right shoulder, okay? This is why some horses will cut corners. This is why the balance is off, is because he's just kind of falling in, and he's not that bad, but it would be like an airplane feeling or riding a motorcycle. So now I might lose a little bit of suppling here through the neck. I might get a little tense horse. Ah, good boy. So there he moved the shoulder. So now I just changed my setup. Okay, I work between a couple different places. Ah, good boy. Good boy. To get what I need, depending on the horse. Okay, now there's better. So you can kind of, there he's falling on the forehand. Or, sorry, the right front. Good. Now I just, there's a lot of things going on here. It's very hard to describe all of them at once. Good boy. So I'm trying to get him to think, well, I got to lift this inside shoulder and step under with my hand and keep my neck relaxed. That's a lot of things because you can start to see how the neck's shortening now, right? Ah, good boy. Oh, that's weird. No, it's not. I don't know why it's doing that. So there we got a little neck release, but he's still, it's very quick for him to say, I want to drop that shoulder. So I'm going to just tickle through the rib cage. There. Okay, and I'm not going to pick with the neck right now. I'm there. Good boy. He's definitely, and I think I said this before, he's going to be a horse that's going to be quick to come behind, just based off of his sensitivity level and his tendencies I'm noticing. So he had a nice looking chew. He gave me a really nice try there. So I'm going to just let him process that a minute. Now I'm going to think about going to the left. Oh, good boy. I think his left side's way easier because he just floats. Okay. Good boy. So this is the same thing as when I'm here. It just comes from, it allows a little bit more forward. Horses feel less claustrophobic from this place. And depending on how supple they are, the ones that are more stiff, I feel at first, this can be a little bit more of a nicer gradual increase of, hey, I need you to give through your body there, versus going from here right away. It's just something that I've noticed working with a bunch of different creatures, or a bunch of different types of horses, to say that they are. So this is much easier for them. I hope you can notice that. All right, so anyway, we're going to keep working on that. And hopefully we will be able to get on him next week just to get a good feel for him, and then we'll go from there. His buddy's coming in. So thanks for watching.